Monday, the 21st of December, marks the shortest day of the year. Or you might say it's the darkest day of the year. And you might say it's the darkest day of the year of the darkest year. It has been dark. So many things going on uh, that have fractured friendships, jobs are lost, health is compromised, or even life is lost. It is really hard. Even as a priest, it is difficult. Uh, and Christmas is coming up. Now, I hope you have a good Christmas. I hope there's somebody you can be with and still feel safe. I hope it's a wonderful time. It's a time for celebration. But I also say that for many of us, it's a time for presents and it's time for food and it's a time for family. But I want to talk about the light we need on the darkest day of the darkest year, and that's Jesus Christ. You see, God is coming into the world. That's what the incarnation, Christmas, is all about. But we often forget about it. We forget about it under a pile of wrapping paper, but we forget about it just because we go about our business and God's not tapping us on the shoulder and saying, hey, remember me? But I think it's important to remember that uh, what the incarnation says is God's in this with us. God chose to become a human being. If I were God, I might not have done that because it's hard being a human being. And now I guess God knows firsthand. But evidently, we were important enough to care enough about us to become one of us. And the light comes in the world, not just in the baby in the manger, but in you and in me. And I want to encourage you to realize that God's in this with you, but also realize that the light of God is in you. And maybe this year you make it a point uh, to shine that light in some really dark places, maybe mending relationships, maybe coming back to church, maybe finding some place to serve. Uh, there's lots of ways to do it. But that light's in you now. You cannot extinguish it. And God says, I need you. I need you to help me renew the face of the earth. And so, on the darkest day of perhaps the darkest year that many of us will experience, realize that the light of God has been born in you this Christmas. And God's saying, spread it all around. I hope you have a great Christmas. I hope I get to see you soon. Please know you're loved, even in the midst of all this craziness. You are loved. Take care.